Alright. Take 2. Distractions. Now, distractions are those things we don't count on. Those things we didn't check off the list. You see, a distraction changes the course of a planned event. I was headed to the store when I was pulling out of my space, when out of nowhere. You see, a distraction can be a small thing, it can be a big thing. And oftentimes, they're simple things. But most importantly, a distraction can be deadly. Webster's dictionary defines a distraction as something that makes it difficult to think or pay attention. As a bus driver, your job is to think and pay attention. You see, you not only have to focus on the world outside of the bus, but you have to focus also on the world inside of the bus. And those are 2 different worlds. You see, outside of the bus, you're going to be faced with things like traffic lights, turn signals, double turn lanes, 4-way stops, 2-way stops, construction zones, intersections, railroad crossings. Those are the things you have to focus on. Inside of the bus, you have your passenger safety. You have to make sure that Jaden and Marcus don't sit next to each other. Those guys have been at it all week. Jaden poked them last week. Keep them separated. Billy and Susie, they're not getting along. Mom's asked for them not to sit together. But every time you look up, they're back in the same seat. You see, what most of you may not know, but you should know, is that a bus driver has a lot of responsibility. And they are faced with millions of distractions on a day-to-day basis. Some of those which you as a bus rider can help to avoid. You can save a life by just doing what you're asked to do. By caring about someone else. You see, this is what I want you to do. I want you to picture yourself sitting in the driver's seat. You have 70 to 80 lives sitting behind you. And it's up to you to make sure that everybody makes it home safely, including yourself. Now, as you set out en route, of course, you're going to be faced with all the common distractions, all the road safety hazards, weather-related issues. It's raining, it's snowing, it's a little slick outside. You have to keep your mind focused on the job at hand. When you have to unload the students, you have to make sure that everybody stays out of the danger zone. You can't let little Tommy drop his papers because he'll go under the bus and get them. You got to count them as they cross. But make sure there's no traffic coming. Because cars sometimes don't think that they think that it's okay not to stop when a school bus's red lights are flashing. To them, I guess we're just putting on a party. No, bozo, kids are crossing in front of the bus. Stop! Now, what happens when you're trucking along, you're delivering left and right, you're counting your kids as they get off, you're greeting them, have a good day, see you tomorrow. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, stop hitting me! Wait, stop, he threw paper at me! What's going on? Hey, stop, no! What happens when you take your eyes off the road for that split second? Guys, what's going on? You forgot to count your passengers. Tommy, he reached for his paper. As you pulled away, he reached under the back wheel to grab his homework. He could not come home with it again. He was already in trouble. You released the brake. You set off. But you forgot to check your mirrors. Tommy never turned in his homework. Tommy never wrote again. It's things such as small distractions that can change a life forever. Bus riders, the way you act inside of the bus makes all the difference. I can look at the roadway and I can check for cars pulling out. I can watch the little boy with his ball rolling across the street and I can stop in time. I can keep my eyes moving and I can scan through the traffic and stop at those intersections when that truck screeching tires, he's not going to stop. I've got to stop. But I can't be held accountable for your actions. Bus drivers have a huge responsibility. We're not carrying boxes that say fragile. Because if that falls and breaks, well, we can replace those things. But you are irreplaceable. There's not a dollar amount in the world that's going to bring you back to life. Have a little consideration, not for only yourself, but for others around you. What about the bus driver? Does she have kids? Is he a single dad? What about the people around the bus? You have to stop and think before you react. Tommy's best friend was on the bus, saw the whole thing. He tried to yell for the bus to stop, but she couldn't hear him because of all the commotion at the front. How do you feel now? How do you feel? Knowing that a human life is gone, all because of senseless distraction. You gotta remember, life is here today and can be gone tomorrow. If nobody ever tells you that, listen to Miss Trina when I say that. Life is something that you want to hold on to and you want to cherish every moment of it. And you don't want to lose it in a senseless act. Have a little bit of respect for one another. Care about one another enough to make it home safely. Because a school bus isn't a little car that we can just stop on a dime. I'm not carrying 3 or 4 kids back and forth to school. I have 70 to 80 lives in my hands. And all I'm asking is for a little bit of help. Think about it.